Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're talking about the spell Creation. We're giving this spell a C, but first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right, so we're giving this a C. It's not a great spell. It's very situational. Not going to be using it in combat because of the casting time. It can be used near combat, and we're going to talk about that. All right, so it is a 5th level spell that is usable by sorcerers, wizards, artificers, forge domain clerics, and the genie, warlocks. It is not a ritual spell, so you are going to have to choose this to cast it, and it is going to cost spell slots. So you do have to keep that in mind, and you want to have this spell ready to go for a situation. If you know you're going to have a certain kind of situation, then this spell can kind of help out with that. All right. So, casting time of 1 minute, range of 30 feet. It can create objects no larger than a 5-foot cube. It has a verbal, somatic, and material component. A tiny piece of matter of the same type of the item you plan to create. But, you know, it doesn't say it has a cost, so Raw says there's no cost to this. You pull wisps of shadow material from the Shadowfell, so it's kind of creating a solid illusion. And I don't like the grammar and the way that this is written. It is very poorly written grammatically because it's confusing. So you have to, they should have used like one full sentence for all of this instead of pulling this out into a bunch of different sentences because it just makes it sound confusing. So you create a non-living object of vegetable matter within range, semicolon, and they're saying what kinds of vegetable matter: soft goods, rope, wood, or something similar. So you can actually make rope with this. Period. Second sentence. You can also use this spell to create mineral objects such as stone, crystal, or metal. It doesn't say within range. I wish they would have just said you to create non-living objects of vegetable matter, stone, crystal, or metal within range, such as blah 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 blah. I don't know why, you know, they're trying to emphasize this thing with the vegetable matter, but you know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, writing wise. So the duration depends on the object's material, and there's a little table below. So if you do bring vegetable matter in, then it has a duration of a day. If you bring stone or crystal in, it has a duration of 12 hours. So crystal is not precious gems. So I would say crystal is quartz. That's basically what it is. Precious metals last for an hour. Gems last for 10 minutes. So precious metals are going to be anything that is a metal. I don't know why they put precious metals, because iron is not a precious metal. Copper is not a precious metal. So gold is a precious metal. So does that mean gold lasts for an hour? But how long does iron last? Gold and silver and platinum are all precious metals. And then they add the adamantine and mithril at the bottom. So gems last for 10 minutes. And again, they don't say what gems are, but precious stones, such as emeralds, rubies, sapphires, tourmalines, things like that. Those are precious gems. And then adamantine and mithril last for a minute. So using any material created by the spell as another spell component, because players may want to go, okay, I'm going to make diamond dust, causes that spell to fail because it's not real. And then you can upcast this. For every slot you upcast it, increase the cube size by 5 feet for each slot above 5th level. Okay, so I know a lot of players are going to be like, ooh, let me create, you know, a bunch of vegetable matter like hemp or flax, and I'll make all these things that I can sell, and I can trick people and make a whole bunch of money because they last for an entire day. As a DM, I would let players get away with that maybe once or twice, and then that would be the end of it. Authorities are going to get wise on what they're doing in that area, and then rumors will spread beyond that area to other localities that are not going to be cool with that happening. And obviously, that will be probably breaking some kind of law in those localities. So I would be very careful with letting players abuse this as a DM. And players, I would be very careful trying to abuse this spell. Now, there is a use for the spell. It is very situational, but there is a use. So I'm going to bring up a creature, and this creature has damage resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't silvered. I'm going to bring up another creature. Let's bring up another creature. Damage immunities. Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that are not adamantine. Okay, so you can create silver, which lasts for an hour, and you can create adamantine, which lasts for a minute. Now, how do you get those? Well, unfortunately, the adamantine or mithril, it'll only last for a minute. So you can't fabricate it. But the silver, you can fabricate. Okay? So everybody needs to keep in mind the durations of these spells and the casting times. Fabricate can be used to take raw materials, and you can create raw materials with this spell. They're going to last for a certain amount of time. They're not necessarily real, and they will disappear, but you could make silvered weapons such that, especially, you also cannot use it to create items that ordinarily require a high degree of craftsmanship, such as jewelry, weapons, glass, armor, unless you have proficiency with the type of artisan tools. Artificers can use fabricate, and artificers can use creation. So if you could figure out a way to get these spells casting times down, then you could use these in combo. But you definitely could use this for metals, for precious metals or metals in general, to make like silvered weapons or silver armor, so that you could use them against specific creatures. But that is super duper situational. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.